Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Let me get on the screen. My mic is moving. We're going to get this thing together. We're going to get it together. Where we at? All right, let's kill the intro. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Man, my mic arm is acting real funky. It's acting funky today. Then my YouTube chat wasn't coming up, so I'm just getting some stuff done on the back end, but we good now. Just gonna make sure we're good on this end. Good morning, Beast. Good morning, Beast. What's going on? Good morning, Harris Room Sports. Good morning, Zedric. No problem. Good morning, C Brown. Did I get everybody? Good morning, Gigi. So over the weekend, I was reflecting and I was looking at the accomplishment of getting to 500 subscribers. I know it is the first of many goals that I have to grow the channel. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I didn't just start moving too fast and not remember or highlight the people or some of the people who've been here with me from the beginning. As y'all know, so many times during the stream, I'm shouting out Beast. Beast is setting me up with a good question. I'm always shouting out Zedric. So I just wanted to make sure that they saw some of my appreciation. So that's why they're mods now. They're usually the first two in the chat. When I'm still in the background doing things, they're here. So just wanted to show my appreciation for those two brothers right there. So the next group of mods that I'll add when we hit our next milestone. So when we get to 1,000, I'll be adding some new mods. When we get to 1,000 subscribers. So, but I just want to make sure I highlighted my guys right there. Hope y'all had a good weekend. The Colorado Buff players is Sharman Ultra Soft Man, no heart. The defense can't tackle, no effort at all. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to Colorado. We're gonna get to Colorado. There are some things that have been happening in Colorado that are very similar to some things that are happening in Cleveland, and I'm going to be highlighting those things. BF, what's good? I'm going to be highlighting those things, especially around the QB situation. We're going to be highlighting it. It's a beautiful weekend since the Browns didn't play. Somehow the Browns, man, they always find a way to get clowned on their day off. You know what I'm saying? Like they get fired on their day off like Friday. So Joe Flacco just went crazy. And like the Browns tell it, Joe Flacco was trash. So now, was it Joe Flacco? Was it the system? Is it the talent? What is it? So we gonna get to all things. We gonna get to all things. Got a great show lined up for today. Great show. All right, so I pulled inspiration from Facts. 4 touchdowns. He had the 2 interceptions, but one interception's on the Hail Mary at the end. So Juju played good though. Juju gonna be special. Yes, Juju is gonna be special. We're gonna get to it when we get to it. It's so much to get to today. Man, just taking one day off from the stream is so much to say, man. This might be a long stream, but we're gonna get through all of it. We're gonna get through all of it. It's usually one thing that happens that kind of sparks a thought in my mind, and that's how I build out my show off of just 1 or 2 things that happen. One of those things was Colorado, so I definitely was looking at the Colorado game. That sparked some things in my mind. Then I started looking back to old Cleveland Browns stuff. And then I was watching and I was listening. I wasn't watching. I was listening to this Cleveland Browns podcast. It sparked some of my mind. And then I started getting to it on that too. So how Stefanski still employed is amazing. Yeah, it's insane how he's still employed. That was a crazy game yesterday. I thought for sure there wouldn't be enough time for the Bears. I usually don't shout out Nick Wright that often, but I believe 3 years ago, he said that the Bengals would have a great offense and their defense would hurt them because they were spending too much money on offense. And it's true. That's the worst defense. The worst defense. They give up so many points, so many yards. The Browns can only score 16 somehow. But let's get to the first clip. The first clip, this is kind of what sparked my brain for what we was going to do today. So let's just play it here. Let me get this up. Let's go.
You're in charge of an NFL team and you had your head coach in place. Would you hire Kevin Stefanski to be your offensive coordinator?
Not right now. No. I mean, based upon his quality of work and how he's digressed. Like, he's digressed over the years. He's slowly, like you said, caveman-ish offense. You can't sit there and say, well, he's going to come in and add something to the room. And that's hard for me to say. I'm actually getting annoyed even with myself, because I had all my eggs in one basket with Kevin, because after the couple of years that he had, even the losing seasons, you've seen something there. But then the last two seasons, I'm like, last season, half this season, I'm like, dude, I just can't do this anymore.
So Kevin Stefanski is losing his most loyal supporters. He's getting called out in the media, and players that couldn't perform under him are performing other places. It's everything that could go bad for Kevin Stefanski is going bad, and it's happening. Good morning, Shanithia. I got something for you. I've been working.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
I got that for you, Shanithia. Welcome in. Hope you had a great weekend. They showed that stat yesterday in Disparity of Money Paid, like $100 million difference between the offense and the defense. Yep, I saw that stat too, Zedric. It was crazy. So it shows you where the money went and how they decided to spend the money, and they get the results of it. So that's how it started. That sparked my mind. I was like, man, Kevin Stefanski's loyal supporters are now saying, I can't defend this guy. And now everybody is sounding like me, which is okay, because, people got the right to change their mind. But we're going to go through it. I'm going to show y'all how a great coach can motivate his guys in creative ways, because I don't want to just tell you I don't like Kevin Stefanski. I want to show you examples of great coaches and how they do things to motivate their players, and how we never hear any of this from Kevin Stefanski. Let's get to it. This is the first one.
Don't you start giving me any.
This is Bill Parcells. As I started looking more into Bill Parcells, I'm like, man, it would have been really funny playing for him at any moment, because he's going to call you out. So here we go.
When people in organizations typically would begin to relax because you've had some success or you've had some stability in your job, he viewed that as something that needed to be shaken up occasionally.
Y'all know anybody who been in their job for a while, has some stability, almost seems like nothing they could do to get fired, that might need to be shaken up? Yeah, I don't know anybody like that. Let's keep listening.
I'm going to tell you, those linemen are standing around, wandering around, or really don't even know to get on the line of scrimmage.
The first time I heard him fire Fred during the game, I go and I tell Carl. Carl was big brother. So I run and I go and tell Carl, hey man, CB, Parcells just fire Fred, man.
Hey, Bill, we gotta leave Megan in there. He's got more speed.
Hey, I'll coach the team, okay, Fred? I don't need with ideas. Just get the guys blocked.
And Banks like, oh, don't worry about it. He probably fired him 20 times since I've been here. I'm like, what?
Wasn't as bad as they said it was.
Hey, that's how you do it, man. You motivate everybody. You hold everybody to a high standard to make sure everyone gives their best and everyone gives their all. And that's what Bill Parcells did. Vrabel or any Patriots coach minus Mayo. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Mayo. He flamed out quickly. But, I mean, just look at Vrabel. Look what they did. They had their eye on some other offensive coordinators. They decided to go with Josh McDaniels, and it's paying dividends for them and turning around their season. So close win yesterday over Atlanta. People going to say some questionable calls, but a win is a win. It goes in the win column. So you got to look at the results, especially when they're doing it. So, hey, shout out to your Patriots, BF. Now, people look at Myles Garrett and they look at him having 5 sacks and they wonder how will he follow that game up. I want to show you something that Bill Parcells did to Lawrence Taylor to get him fired up for the next game. This just outside the box, very creative, knew how to push the right buttons. Let's go.
Some of these guys got to get their head out of their ass around here.
I will never forget the time. The Giants were playing the Rams. And Lawrence Taylor always had a difficult time with a tackle on the Rams named Irv Pankey. Parcells was trying to figure out how he could motivate Taylor that week. He'd put a plane ticket on Taylor's stool. And when he got into work on that Wednesday, when they were starting preparations for the Rams, Taylor noticed this plane ticket on his stool, and Parcells was walking through there. He goes, "Hey, what's this? What's this plane ticket?" And Parcells said, "It's a plane ticket. You go down to New Orleans. You send Pat Swilling up here. He's number 56, too. He'll play for us this week. He can handle Pankey. You can't, obviously."
I said, you don't have to change shirts. Just give him your helmet and you take his helmet and send him up here and I'll use him Sunday.
So Taylor is fuming and he's throwing a few F-bombs at Parcells.
He did that to Lawrence Taylor, y'all. He did that to Lawrence Taylor. Nobody would question Lawrence Taylor on the field. He questioned Lawrence Taylor on the field to get him to the next level for a guy who had a small amount of success against him. That's what great coaches do. LaTanya, what's going on? If your coach doesn't demand respect that shows on the field, I totally agree. If you look at teams that are just undisciplined, they have a lot of penalties, usually it's because there are no repercussions for them not paying attention to the details and making sure the details are good. So it just shows. It shows. This is how I want this. I want my coach to have a little bit of crazy to him because I want him to take it to that next level with understanding his players and pushing the proper buttons to get everything out of them. Now, all the coaches I'm showing y'all, every week I'm showing you a different coach, and I'm saying, look, they're pushing another button. They're doing something else to get more out of their guys. So I'm going to keep showing y'all more and more coaches to show y'all that we are not hearing or seeing this from Kevin Stefanski. Let's keep this thing rolling forward. What we got next on the docket?
And we hit the quarter.
So I want to show y'all something that I'm doing to learn the game better. As I told y'all, basketball is my favorite sport, but I'm learning football. I'm putting in the time to learn football. And this is something, I just threw this in the show because it just really caught my eye with things he saw right away. Brian Flores, hey, if you know me, lazily tying coat, if you know me, I'm a big believer in Brian Flores. This is great. Love the content on the coaches. Yeah, Harris, you kind of sparked that when you were asking me about different coaches. So anytime it plays into what the episode is going to be about, I'm going to make sure we show some coaches and things that they do to get the most from their players. This is Ed Reed right here, one of the best safeties of all time, and everybody speaks on his football IQ. And I want y'all to recognize how fast he identifies, oh, they're in this coverage or this coverage. Very fast he does this.
We want to go into the fourth quarter. I love this breakdown. It simplifies it for me. So right now, you have a two shell. A two shell is two safeties back here right now, right? If I was a safety, I would want these two guys to actually be on the same level. But since they're not, the pre-snap read for Pat Mahomes he is lower than that guy. So the possibility is what? Him dropping down, him going deep. As you see in the next image here, now you see the middle read safety back here. So he already knows what he got. The flat open, he got a hole here. Pat has many options. I know he knew that this safety was dropping down. Like I saw it pre-snap read, and I know if I saw it, Pat saw it. You can't let a quarterback like Pat Mahomes know that. I wouldn't want him to read that. I would want him to read me on the run. I would want to drop down on the snap of the ball. All right, now let's take a look into the...
I can't show a lot of this because they got the different music, but you see how quick he identified, hey, this safety is coming down. Him identifying that safety is coming down, he's like, okay, they can only be going into cover 3, cover 1. Once you see that safety is coming down, once you see guys turn and run, you know you got cover 1. You know exactly where your answers are. When I question Kevin Stefanski on if he's giving his guys the answers, his guy's Dylan Gabriel right now. I don't believe Dylan Gabriel ever knows the answers based on what the defense is giving. He always looks behind. He always looks a step slow in his reads. It was that quick. When you can eliminate certain coverages pre-snap, they didn't have to run motion for that. That was just tendencies of how they lined up. And when you have guys, when the two safeties are even, it's going to show you one thing. And you might say, oh, that could be cover 2. That could be cover 4. It'll show you something different. But those are the things that you got to learn when you're playing quarterback so you can take advantage of it. That's what you got to learn. That's what you got to know. So when I look at college quarterbacks, I want them to have the basic stuff down so I can start teaching them this when they get to the league. If you are going into the league and I have to teach you a lot about footwork, a lot about all these other things, you know how long it's going to be before I can teach you anything when it comes to actually reading defenses? It might be 2 seasons. So that's why I'm hard on quarterbacks. This is the reason why. This is how I study. This is how I learn more. Bengals lost yesterday was because they didn't wrap up and tackle. That is bad fundamentals. I blame the coach. Toolman, you're on to something. As I was watching the end of that game, the first thing I thought was Zach Taylor just lost his job because 2 guys couldn't tackle. That was my first thought. Instant thought was coach is gone. It doesn't matter what happens the rest of the year. Coach is gone. And then you look at the players and how they spoke after the game. You got Chase Brown saying the defense got to get an effing stop. You got Jamar Chase walking into the back saying 1 stop. They are so frustrated. The locker room is going to be gone. They know the defense is letting them down. A coach will be fired. That was my first thought when I was going through that. That was my very first thought. What we got next up on the docket here, y'all? Okay. Coach Prime. It's time to talk about it. It's time to talk about it. I'm going to play the very beginning part of this first because I do like something that Coach Prime is doing, and we're going to speak on it. And then we're going to get to the game. We're going to get to the team. We're going to get to the parallels with the Browns. Then I'm going to give y'all a rewind of the Browns, and then we're going to bring it back current and show y'all the state of the Browns after that. So here's Coach Prime.
No one will be available tonight. It's on me. Don't attack the coordinators, come at me. Don't attack the players, come at me. This is me. This has nothing to do with none of them. It has everything to do with me. Let's go.
I don't know if I believe in Eddie O, but hey, they can have him in Cincinnati. I think he would do better in college, but they can have him down there in Cincinnati if they want him. Right here. This is what I like from Coach Prime. Coach Prime knows they're coming off 2 very bad losses. He knows they will really attack his coordinators. They will really attack his OC, really attack his DC, really start breaking down the scheme. And he's saying, look, just put it all on me. So I do like the fact that he is going out in front and he is putting it all on him. He's not even allowed them to take the hits in the media. He's not allowing the media to try to trip them up, ask him any questions. Because for the most part, at this point, when you give up 50 plus in back-to-back games, you're basically blown out early in the game. The only thing you can go out there and say if you're being real, if you're a player, is you got to just start calling stuff out this bad. That's the only thing you can do. He knows this. So he's saying, I'm gonna take all the darts. I'm not gonna put these guys out here for us to expose our dirty laundry. But watching that game, that very first touchdown play where I can't think of the dude. He might be number 14. Leroy James, what's going on? It might be number 14. It might be number 14 for Arizona. He just went crazy. It was just a little bubble screen, and he broke like 7 tackles. Number 53 should have got benched to that game for Colorado. He missed tackles on that first touchdown play. He lined up offsides. He had a roughing the passer when they were getting off field. He had 2 critical mistakes on third down. Number 53, they should have pulled him out the game and just benched him for the rest of the game. They needed to make that adjustment. He was making too many critical mistakes, and his mistakes started from the very first touchdown drive. They had to take him out the game. They had to. Someone made a good point about Prime not making any moves yet because of his health. That could be stressful in itself. I agree with that. I think he could be a little bit slow to making changes. Just he's trying to make it through the season. That's what I think. When I watched this whole press conference, I was like, he's probably trying to just get through the season. But after the season, the DC got to go. The OC got to go. You can't keep giving up all these points and not have any answers or not even try things differently. Like the defense I told y'all they should go to, they should have go when they can't stop teams from running, they should go to a 3-4 defense and they should run that bare front that I was telling you all. Show 5 guys up front, 1-on-1. Hopefully one of your guys can win to get in the backfield, or you get your linebackers coming downhill fast to stop the run, and then you at least force these teams to throw the ball on you. Because for the most part, teams are running all over them every week, and they got to stop that first. But to start off, I like what he said. Let's get a little bit more of this.
Coach, after last week, you kind of said you were dumbfounded. How did that happen? When you look at today, how did tonight happen?
Have no idea. If I knew, I wouldn't have allowed it to happen. It's on me. Straight out on me.
Coach, Brian Howell, Bullet of the Camera, when you say it's on you, what do you think is happening with this team that you guys
We're
go
not
from beating
executing.
Iowa State to...
We're not executing. We're not getting it done, and that's from lack of preparation, I suppose. That's on me.
B from Ohio, I agree. They need coordinators who have more fire. They need coordinators who are willing to adjust. The worst thing you could do as a coordinator is lock in on one thing and say, this is what we do, when you're not having success with it. So to me, their schemes are bad. From the defensive standpoint, they've had the same DC and teams are just running all over you. And they are not trying new things to stop it, sending a blitz with safeties. No, just mano a mano, put 5-on-5 and say one of our guys is going to win versus these linemen. They came out strong on defense against Georgia Tech. Not clear on what happened. I'm done with these NFL coaches. Prime guy. This is schematics, man. This is the scheme. It's because Georgia Tech wanted to run the ball more. So once Georgia Tech realized, man, they're not gonna sell out to stop the run, we're gonna throw a little bit and run all over them, and that's been the meal ticket to success, is to run all over them. So they got to change the scheme to stop it. They got to change the scheme to stop them from running the ball on them. Then you get put in a blender. When the defense is in a blender, they can run or pass on you. They got you on your heels. The offense can do whatever it wants. That's what's happening to Colorado's offense right now. The D coordinators got to be more flexible to change what they're doing, and they're slow to change, it seems like. Offensively, they have a better offensive line, less talent at quarterback, and they are not running the ball like they should. And part of it's their run scheme that they're using also. So if you notice, when they run the ball, most times the running backs are going, they're going left or right first. They need to be going downhill. They need everybody attacking off the ball. They don't need to be trying to do trap plays and all that. Just have everybody attacking downhill. So you always hear me talk about the zone scheme. Good morning, Marie. Y'all always hear me talking about, I want my offense their running style to be zone scheme. The reason is everybody's going downhill. It's a little bit less thinking. It's hat on the hat and then work to the next level. And then the running back is just picking a lane and he's going. So some of it is scheme. They run left and right too much for me. And that's why they're not able to take advantage of their offensive line being better. So a lot of this stuff, the issues they're having are schematic and they need to get out of it. And then also, they are putting Caden Salter in a position to play quarterback like he's Shedeur, and he's not Shedeur. And it's okay that he's not Shedeur, but use him as he is. On the broadcast, they were talking about how Pat Shermer was saying he was hesitant to call running plays for Kaden Salter. It makes no sense that you have that element of surprise in running from the quarterback position and you don't use it. And I would never come out and say I was hesitant to use one of somebody's strengths. I would never say that. Y'all would never hear me say that as a coach. So for these reasons, Pat Shermer can't get creative enough. He got to go. So that's just what it is. That's what it is. I can see them moving Leftwich to OC. I would like that. They need Urban Mind based on the roster and culture. Yeah, they got to switch it up. They have to switch it up. Those guys' voices are stale. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know he's trying to hold them, but they're holding you back, man. The parallels. Baker and Joe are playing much better without Stefanski. With Stefanski, Deshaun Watson and maybe Dylan will be better without Stefanski. You know what happens? What's going on, Clyde? Let me say what's up to you first. What's going on, Clyde? If they had a better offensive mind at coach, the offensive mind would tailor to all of the strengths of the quarterback and the quarterback that they had. Kevin Stefanski is not making anything easy on Dylan Gabriel. He didn't make anything easy on Deshaun. He didn't make anything easy on Joe Flacco. He didn't make anything easy going back to basically the time he's been here. So since he's not capable of doing that, you got to move him out there. Dylan Gabriel isn't reading defenses. He's running scared and isn't processing the full field. Toolman, I agree with that. He definitely isn't processing the field. Toolman, everything they said Dylan Gabriel was doing, he's doing none of it. He's not processing. He's not seeing the defense quickly. He's not making only quick decision he's making is to throw the ball away or to checking down. That's the only thing he's doing fast. The DC came from the Bengals. They have no defense. Neither do CU. He brought those bad plays to CU. You know what happened? The Bengals, it was a key point for the Cincinnati Bengals when their defense still was kind of good. They had DJ Reader as a D tackle. He was really good at stopping the run. They had two good safeties on the back end. Both of their safeties left in back-to-back years. Jesse Bates went down to Atlanta, and I can't remember where their other safety went, but their defense started falling apart because guys were leaving. So when they were good, that's when Coach Prime went and got him. Now what we're seeing is if you don't have a defensive tackle that dominates the line of scrimmage, that defense won't work. And you're seeing it with Colorado. They cannot stop the run to save their life. It's kind of nothing they can do to stop the run. So that's why they got to sell out to stop the run. You got to say, we're willing to give up the pass. So we got to spend more resources there. Dylan, not a good QB. Yeah, I don't think he's good. I hope that's not what you took from that. I don't think he's good. I was just more so highlighting the fact that Kevin Stefanski misuses all his quarterbacks. But yeah, you got to sell out to stop the run. They're not doing that. Now let's get to the parallels of Cleveland and Colorado, because there are some parallels there. The parallels are we're going to have a quarterback competition, which in hindsight, I'm thinking back, DJ Reader and Larry Ogunjobi. Yes, you are correct. Be from Ohio. DJ Reader was a beast. Larry Ogunjobi was on the Cleveland Browns, and they didn't re-sign him, and then he went right down to Cincinnati. And those D tackles, they changed the way they play defense. People couldn't run the ball on them the same way. So I'm with you when you're writing. You're right. What I'm realizing is if you don't have uber confident guys in a quarterback competition, one or two of the guys in a three-man quarterback competition is going to melt. They're going to melt. We are watching Kaden Salter melt right before our eyes. He was shaken. He said he was shaken after getting pulled from the game. That means his confidence was teetering coming into this. And the lights are probably too bright. Being on TV every week, the scrutiny and everything that you hear, what you face, your offensive play caller not being able to use one of your best strengths, he's melting. Very similar to a quarterback we see in Cleveland is melting away as well. So when those guys didn't have the extra confidence needed, like a Shedeur, this quarterback competition is frustrating to Shedeur. The quarterback situation, I should say, is frustrating to Shedeur, but his confidence is not broken. Kaden Salter, confidence is done. Matt Staub, he's a backup. It's time for Juju. It's time for him. I hope y'all noticed when Juju was on the sideline. I think it was a well-lost video. Juju was on the sideline. Coach Prime talked to him. Juju had on the headset. If y'all noticed, he was way more vocal with his receivers once he kind of was getting that feeling like, hey, this is going to be mine now. I'm going to be one to run the show. So he kind of stepping into that role. Just got to get comfortable with it. After the last 2 games, Salter isn't it. He came in talking big at the Big 12 conference saying that he was a complete QB, not like Shedeur. I cringed when he said it and didn't like it. He exposed. Confidence, when you are a confident person, you don't need to take shots at other people. You don't need to do it. When you're confident, your confidence just shows. You just show up and do what you do. Everything will play itself out. Everything will work itself out with time. When you have to come in and prove, I'm this, I'm that, nobody cares what you say. It's about what you do on that field. And once you get on that field and you can't produce and you are hesitant and you can't make basic throws and you miss layups. He missed so many layups early in the season. He missed so many layups early in the season, Kaden Salter. And he was lackadaisical with his footwork and just trying to make the big play when the 6-yard run was there. That was the beginning of the end. They didn't want to fully break his confidence by benching him then, but now they got to bench him. They got to move on. You have to. You got to go to Juju. Yeah, Juju was very confident telling the guys how they needed to get open. Shanithi, I saw that. It was one of those things where it's hard. You don't want to push buttons. You don't want to step on toes. But everybody know what's going on with Kaden Salter. He looking like, oh, this me now. If y'all notice, Juju looked way more poised than Kaden Salter did. He looked, when the play wasn't there, he was rolling out, getting out the pocket, throwing the ball away. He looked more poised than Kaden Salter. And he's one of the youngest guys in college. So it's time. It's time to move on. You have somebody waiting in the wings who's going to do better. You have somebody waiting in the wings who's ready for the moment. Kaden Salter is melting, very similar to Dylan Gabriel melting. CU is missing D-Lou. He left and went to his alma mater, Miami. The U. D-Lou brought the fire, had those players on defense fired up. We need Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis could be really good. Ray Lewis was there because they're saying he wants to get into coaching. He would be really good to get those guys fired up. If you watch the well-off stuff this weekend, Ray Lewis told them they're not a team, they're a bunch of individuals. Shedeur Sanders said they don't have the alphas here. So if you don't have those guys on the team playing, the coaches have to be that. So you can't have calm coaches and calm players. Somebody got to light the fire. Somebody got to call guys out. Somebody got to get in guys' faces. Juju looked faster than K-Salt when he ran. I hope Juju don't leave. Yeah, that's the thing. They asked Coach Prime that in his press conference, like, do you think he's going to take a redshirt year? Do you think he's going to play? They got 2 games to determine. We're going to see. Hopefully he don't leave. That it would be trash if he left, because then you're in way worse position if Juju leaves than if he stays. So hopefully he doesn't leave. Hopefully he stays. Hopefully, he fights through it. Let's see. Coach Prime he's going to speak on Juju. Let me see if I can find it real quick. What is Warren Sapp doing? He should be firing players up. I think he gets in guys' faces. I think he tries to fire them up. I think they're not being put in position to have success. They don't have, to run the defense that they're running, you need like a 300-pound defensive tackles who collapse the pocket so you can have more guys drop off in the coverage. They don't have that. So they're running the wrong defense for the players that they have. So it's only so much you can do if they're going to stay in these base coverages and then they're just going to run so much man behind it without getting the pressure. It's easy. People going to pick apart that all day. He can get them fired up. They need a scheme change, and they need a combination of a D coordinator with that fire. Because he's coaching the defensive lineman, so he can't say, hey, we got to change this whole scheme. He might say, put this guy in, take this guy out, try to get his guys motivated, but the scheme is the issue there. Caden was going at fans after game 1. Coach Prime might have been better off rocking with Staub and Juju. Do you think Deion is doing a good job developing Juju? I do. I think he is. I think you can see that from when Juju got in early. He was timid. He didn't look timid when he got in this weekend. He didn't look timid. So I think that's the difference. Also, once a guy starts speaking up as a quarterback, it's a wrap. It's his team now. I'm the captain now. He started speaking up. He started telling guys, this is what I need you to do. So once you do that, development is going in the right direction. I think Deion was trying to give Salter every opportunity to show his skill because this is his last year, 5th year in college. Yep. I think so as well. I think he's like, look, I'm not going to just move off of you too fast, but if you put me in a position, if you give me no choice, I will move off of you. And Kaden Salter has gave Coach Prime no choice. My job think I meditated because my head's about listening to your show. Good morning. Good morning, Shirley. Don't get in trouble at work, though. Don't get in trouble at work, Shirley. Pressure on the QB is key to everything. That's why Miles is such a special guy. Totally agree with you there. Maurice, what's going on? What's going on, Maurice? This shows how great Shedeur really was. Those lights are too big for Salter. Totally correct. Totally correct. I saw somebody come to that conclusion this morning. They're saying Shedeur was so much better than they want to give him credit for. It is a reason why Shedeur's number was retired, because you see he fixed so many issues. He kept Pat Shurmur from looking trash. Pat Shurmur looked like he has no idea what he's doing right now. We know the offensive line wasn't as good. He held it all together. You got to give him his props for that. Philly, Cowboys, even Patriots will love to get their hands on him. Facts. Juju, look at me now. Look at me now. I'm the captain now. That is a fact. I'm the captain now. Do you think it's going to be hard to recruit after this year? Nah, I don't think so. Coach Prime, his number one trait is recruiting. And he gets the most props for telling what it is. He's not lying to these families. He's not telling these families, I'm offering this, I'm offering that. So I think that's why recruiting will be easy for him. Not easy, but, he got to do his work. I finally get a day off, so I got the pen and paper taking notes. Harris Room, what's good, brother? What's good? Harris, I got some good stuff for you. I'm going to take it back a little bit when we get to the Browns. Juju just turned 18. Deion is helping develop him. Shedeur and Juju have the same QB coach. Select QB. Juju will be fine. I agree. Juju was getting through his progressions way faster than Caden. He was identifying when the defense won the rep faster. So if he's starting that, if he's doing that already, just think where he's going to be in 2 years. It's not going to be close. Hey, good to have you here, Maurice. I don't think Jordan Seaton going to leave you loyal. I agree with you there, Beast. I think Jordan Seaton is staying. I'm a Patriots fan, and Shedeur closest to time at making anything look good. I agree with you there. I agree with you. Initially, Juju was hesitant, and you can tell he wants it. Yep, Clyde, totally. You can see it. Fact, Shedeur would change the plays and develop his own plays. Shurmur plays were trash. That's why he needs to go. There you go. Couldn't have said it better. When a quarterback has to consistently change your plays, that means that you are not seeing what the defense is trying to take away. If you look at the 49ers, how often do you see a 49ers quarterback changing the plays? You don't see it that often. Just look at Drake May and Josh McDaniels. How often does Drake May need to get off of what Josh McDaniels calls? Not that often, because he's put in the work. So when you have a great offensive play caller, they are ahead of it. You don't have to move off of things. That's what you got to do. So we are watching one QB melt, and we are watching one QB take charge in Colorado. And it seems like it's a multitude of reasons why Coach Prime won't make any changes during the year. But Beast, I always got to throw it back to you. Beast, do you remember my way too early prediction saying they got to get rid of both coordinators? It's just playing out in front of us. Sometimes the stuff I see, I don't want to be right because it will cost someone their job. But in this instance, I just saw that the schemes weren't good. The discipline wasn't there. You can't line up right. You need changes. Changes have to happen. They have to happen. All right, let's keep this thing moving forward. That was our Colorado therapy for today. It was a tough watch. I'm going to tell y'all, I wanted to just stop watching the game before we move on. I wanted to stop watching the game. I saw Staub go in. I flicked off the game for a minute. I started seeing stuff on social media. Juju put his helmet on. I turned the game back on, and I watched the whole rest of the game. So, hard watch. But if Juju's going to be out there starting, I'm watching the game from beginning to end, just to let y'all know. Just to let y'all know.
You know, when we drafted this year.
Let me pause this. Deion have to start recruiting these high school player more than being in the transfer portal more. Yeah, he got to start, I think, mainly with the line, with the offensive line and defensive line. He can't forget the 5-star or 4-star line. You got to get that together. For the most part, Colorado has linebackers that flow to the ball. For the most part, they have DBs who play decent. They get put in man-to-man situations on islands way too much with no pressure, so they look like they're giving up plays. But they're going to get better. I trust the people behind the scenes. Coach Prime is helping Caden together. I trust the people behind the scenes. Coach Prime is helping Caden get together behind the scenes. I agree with that. He's doing everything in his power not to put Caden down or to shine a light on him. So he's trying his best to make sure, he could get something good out of this for Caden. This season is a test of patience. OC needs to be in sync with the QB and let the QB move the ball. Totally agree. To a man, so true. So true. Now we got to do a little bit of a rewind, y'all. We got Kevin Stefanski doubling down on Dillon Gabriel. I'm a Browns fan through and through. And I got to show y'all some things why my patience level is not there with trusting what these coaches say and what they do. And I got to take it back before I can bring it forward. Let's go. Hue Jackson, everybody knows he went 1-31 for the Cleveland Browns. He also told us to believe in some quarterbacks. This is the first time he said it to us. Let me play it.
Young man, we spent a lot of time with him, and he has talent and ability, and he has the football IQ. He's been here with us for quite a while, and so we've seen him grow, through this process with him. So he's done a good job that way. He works at it. It's important to him. We're teaching him how we want our quarterback to perform and prepare and all those different things. And so that's a challenge for anybody because we ask a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other teams do too across the National Football League. You as a quarterback, you live a kind of lonely road a little bit. When you come here early, you stay here late. You get rid of distractions, you turn the phones off, and you got to kind of shut everybody out because you got to find your process that works for you. And so we're in the middle and in the process of finding what's best for him. The one thing that I've been really impressed.
Is he talking about Deshaun Kaiser, Cody Kessler, or Dillon Gabriel? That's the question. So as a lifelong Browns fan, I got to just open the veil and show y'all some things. Every once in a while, we got to take a little history lesson. Is he talking about Deshaun Kaiser, Cody Kessler, or Dillon Gabriel? If I told y'all this was Kevin Stefanski speaking on Dillon Gabriel, nobody would question it. Nobody would question it. It's the same things they say that are super vague. He's been with us a long time. He's doing the things that we ask of him. He's getting better. It's the same thing. We've been down this road before. We've seen the Cleveland Browns draft a quarterback who many people thought was overdrafted or thought wasn't ready. That's what happened with Deshaun Kaiser. He had accuracy issues. We are seeing it with Dillon Gabriel. We are seeing it. It's the same song and dance. So if you have Cleveland Browns fans who are less patient with Kevin Stefanski, this is why. We've heard this before. We've seen a coach lock in with a player and that player not be able to perform. We've seen it. Let's move it forward.
You've got to trust him.
Actually, Actually, before I show y'all this from 9 years ago, let me get to something else real quick. So Hue Jackson, he did a lot of talking about DeShone Kizer. So let me show y'all. They keep gaslighting us over and over and over again. That's a fact too, man. That's it. They want us to believe our eyes are not seeing these guys who aren't performing. So I got this big on the screen for y'all. Hue Jackson doubles down on DeShone Kizer, says he has the right stuff. I will get it out of him. Is this any different than what Kevin Stefanski is doing and saying right now about Dillon Gabriel? We're going to see what Dillon do versus Jets. He better start throwing to the right side of the field if he want to have success. Coaches speak, Maurice. That is a fact. It's just mumbo jumbo. It's mumbo jumbo. It means nothing. Telling us our eyes and seeing the crap we know we see. We're not or not seeing it. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what it is. You're just not seeing it. Dillon Gabriel is way better than you think. What did Kevin Stefanski say? It's some plays to be there. He just got to make the plays. We just need him to make the plays when the plays are there. It's no different. We've been through this too many times. They're playing this game too much. C. Brown, Groundhog Day. That's a fact. That's why I wanted to show you all this, because we've been down this road before. Asante, what's good? Unfortunately, this is not the road that you want to say you've been down before. You want to say, man, we've seen a team fight through and make it to the playoffs. We've seen a team bounce back. No, we've seen incompetence year after year. If nothing else, I know what incompetence look like right away. Sometimes we can believe in people to our own detriment. Got to know when to shift. There you go. There you go. I can't want this more for you than you want it for yourself. And it's only so many things I could do to manipulate the situation to get the most out of you. There's only so many things I could do. Kevin Stefanski, the most telling thing about what he said was, it's plays to be had and he has to make the plays. That's what Kevin Stefanski said about Dillon Gabriel. Plays to be had, he has to make them. That's him saying, hey, I'm doing something now. You ain't making them. Jeffrey, what's good? Did you see that Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel has the same exact numbers in Kevin's offense? I did. So I think it was it was after Gabriel played 2 weeks. I was like, this is a rerun of the first 4 weeks of the season. And if you look, it's been a rerun. It's been a rerun of the same thing. Both of them are 1-3. Both of them got a win that really wasn't based on what they did. And it still ended up like this. Numbers aren't that good, aren't pushing the ball downfield. I just hope they don't push Shedeur and at the end of the season and they take the starters out and put in backups to play with Shedeur. Yeah, that would be messed up. That would be messed up. I want Shedeur to get in early enough when the starters are still there and the starters don't have these small nagging injuries where they're protecting themselves for next year. So that's why you want to see Shedeur sooner rather than later. If they wait to the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks of the year, he's not going to be playing with all the guys that he would be playing with if he plays when it's 7 or 8 games left. You know, guys got incentives in their contracts for snaps, games played, stats, and all that stuff, performance. So that's when you want him to go in. That's when you want him to go in. Now let me show you all this. Let's take it back to the 4 guys. Let's take it back to these 4 guys. Let's go here, go here. Shedeur has been coached by Hall of Famer his whole life. Deion was an amazing player, defensive player, and reading offenses. I totally agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. My bot picks one person to pick on every week and a half. My fault too, man. My question is, how did we have two different quarterbacks and they were totally different, not able to see the middle of the field in this offense? Kevin Stefanski, his messaging to his quarterbacks is off. It's off. And also, it's not that they can't see the middle of the field. Joe Flacco's first game in Kevin Stefanski's offense, he was attacking the middle of the field. Defenses said, if you're going to attack the middle of the field, I'm going to take that away from you. I'm going to run defenses that take away the middle of the field. So when Joe Flacco was a starter, most defenses we saw cover one the most. And you can have cover one robber where a safety comes down and a safety drops back. You can have just a base cover one where a middle linebacker is also protected in the middle of the field. So there are times when defenses are going to look at what you do and they're going to take it away. I'll even show you. Once we get through this video here, I'm even going to show you. I don't think I have any more Hue Jackson videos. I'll show you Joe Flacco's passion chart a little bit later so you can see where he tries to attack with the Browns and how they got him to move away from the middle of the field. And it was what the defense was doing. So this is funny. 9 years ago, this is what we had as Browns media.
Michael Ray guy, do you trust him?
I trust you, yeah. But let me though be very clear.
But
let me be very clear.
Don't use that in a relationship, folks.
Right. I trust him off what he's done on the football field as a coach. I trust him as a developer. I trust him. I'm interested to see how he takes this forward. Now he's started to make some choices as far as personnel. We'll see where that goes. But as a coach, I trust him.
Fedor?
Well, Dan, it's not a situation where everything that he does I'm going to agree with. I'm still going to criticize him if I think he's wrong. I'm still going to disagree with him.
Of course.
But this is the most excited that I've been about a head coach for the Cleveland Browns in the last 5 to 10 years because he's got a quarterback background, because he's an offensive-minded guy, and because he's had success with a number of different quarterbacks, all different sizes, all different styles.
Are they talking about Hue Jackson or are they talking about Kevin Stefanski? Y'all tell me. Good morning, Ms. Brown. I've been picked on by the bot for a few weeks. Not tripping here. Yeah, too, man. I'm going to work on it for you. It feels like everything is congested in the middle of the field. I just read that. Yes, everything is congested because the defenses that they're running, and they know that the Browns don't have enough speed to beat them over the top or outside. So they're going to take away the middle of the field. Seeing Flacco ball out like he's doing shows it's not necessarily a QB. It's Stefanski. Get him out of there. You about to lose your job. Where you at?
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski, his messaging to his quarterbacks about the turnovers has them hesitant to throw the ball and to trust what they're seeing. Joe Flacco looks like two different players. He does not look like the same player. Joe Flacco, all of a sudden, now he can move his feet. Now he can move around. It doesn't make sense. Looks like Cleveland is periodically faced with choices that they normally get wrong. Man, oh man. Couldn't have summed it up better, Zedric. They're talking about Hue Jackson because you said the word 9 years ago. What? Technically, they are talking about him, but when they're talking about talent, being able to use all these different quarterbacks, having an offensive background, that's the same way they spoke on Hue Jackson. We saw him flame out. They're speaking on Kevin Stefanski right now the same way, and we're watching him flame out. This is more deja vu. We've seen this before. We've seen this movie. We've seen how it ends. Eventually, the coach leaves. We've seen it. What we have next. So I want to show y'all something because now everybody is turning on the Andrew Berry. Oh, but if you didn't say that, I wouldn't have known the difference. Facts, Jeffrey. We've seen this movie before. So a lot of people think that Andrew Berry just got here. Andrew Berry was here as part of a failed front office that was fired. Left, went to Philly, and came back. But sometimes I got to show y'all the writing was on the wall on where they had issues a long time ago. This is Sashi Brown. He used to be the GM. He's on the left. That's Andrew Berry. He was the VP of, let me get it right. Let's do this. I don't want y'all to believe me. I want y'all to believe what the Cleveland Browns say. Andrew Berry was named the Browns Executive Vice President of Football Operations. That's 2020. Berry rejoined the Browns staff after serving as Vice President of Player Personnel 2016 to 2018. That's Andrew Berry. This is the Cleveland Browns website, y'all. So I'm not making this up. Let's go back. Let's get Andrew Berry back up. Let's play it. Roll the clip.
Sashi, what differentiates Coleman from Treadwell, Dotson, and any other?
Yeah, all good receivers, and Andrew can chime in here as well. We felt that Corey coming out early, younger player, still has a lot to develop as a receiver, but brings some dimensions that you just can't develop in terms of his speed, his ability to attack the ball in the air. For a smaller receiver, does not play to his size, plays above his size. We liked all those things about him, but we knew we wanted to add some speed to the offense to make sure that people respected our passing game.
Do you see this? I was just looking there. He did some returning stuff, punt kicks. Is he?
Barry hiding from the press is bad though. I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, I view him how I view him. If he comes out here and talks and give us some word salad, it's not gonna change how I view him. Yeah, he's been here 9 or 10 years. No, he was here for 2 years. That whole front office got fired, and then he came back in 2020. Barry is not hiding. He don't want a lot to protect the Browns' agenda. Hey, he doing something. He doing something. But the reason why I'm showing y'all this is because the Browns under Andrew Berry have not been able to find good wide receivers. Well, the person who brought him here also was not able to find good receivers. It's not just now, y'all. This has been a problem. This has been a problem. So let me show y'all. Let's switch this over. Let's go here, right here. I forgot about Corey Coleman. Worse than Jerry Jeudy. And fun fact, Corey Coleman only ran 3 routes in college. There you go. Where is Raul when you need him? Raul, where you at when we doing the throwback Brown stuff? So this is going to be a little bit small on y'all screen. I'm going to read it out to you. They're not paying for good receivers. They're not paying for them. They can't draft them. This has been a thorn in the side of the front offices that Andrew Berry has been a part of. So they took Corey Coleman with the 15th overall pick in 2016. This draft class, 2016, they drafted 4 wide receivers. None of them amounted to anything more than a high-end number 3 for any team. Rashard Higgins, he had some good years. He went down to Carolina, couldn't do anything else after that. Jordan Payton, I don't even remember this person. Ricardo Lewis, he had a couple good games, I would say, with the Browns. That's about it. Corey Coleman was out the league pretty fast. The receivers are not the problem. Brucey Gabriel is the problem. Remember, this is we know he's not good. This is on Andrew Berry, what I'm doing right now. We went on the head coaches. We showed y'all historically head coaches buying into bad quarterbacks. It cost them their job. That's Kevin Stefanski's situation. This is throwing it back for Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry has not been able to draft wide receivers. Even the regimes that hire him, he hasn't been able to pick. He hasn't been able to pick good receivers. So remember, this is throwback portion. This is showing you that we've seen this song and dance before. It's just replaying itself. That's all this is. This not really. Nobody believes. I don't believe. I'm not gonna say nobody. I don't believe in Dylan Gabriel. I believe Shedeur Sanders is better. I think he'll get more out of him. So this is more so to highlight why these guys have to go. That's what this is. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Corey Coleman didn't do much. The best players out of this 2016 draft, career-wise, Joe Schobert, solid linebacker, played a long time for the Browns. Then I want to say he went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he was in the game a while. They actually got him. They got him in the 4th round. Carl Nassib, he played okay once he went down to Tampa Bay. Emmanuel Ogbah, surprisingly, is still in the league right now. He's still in the league. He's still in the league right now. But they haven't been good at getting receivers. Let's look at 2017. This is before. These are the times when he was here before he got fired. The first time. Hold on. Let me get this ad out the way, y'all. Move this. Get out of here. The next year, they didn't take any receivers. They took no receivers, but they took Deshaun Kaiser in the second round. 3 first-round picks. They did really well there. They got Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, who they traded for Odell Beckham, and they got David Njoku, who is still on the team. The rest of these guys, besides Larry Ogunjobi, didn't really amount to much in the NFL. So this is just to show you, this has been something Andrew Berry hasn't been good at for a while. For a long time, this has not been a strength of his. Has not been a strength. Let's get to the comments before we get to the next video. Jerry Jeudy is our number 1 guy. Why scheming up plays to get him the ball? We saw what happened with Jameis when he gets the ball. I totally agree. Those same receivers will ball out with Shedeur. I agree. They're definitely going to do better. They're going to get opportunities. He did get us Odell and Cooper, but outside of those two, he hasn't done much of a receiver. Remember, Dorsey is the one who got us Odell. Dorsey got us Odell because that was after this regime, Sashi Brown, they all got fired. Then he got us Amari Cooper. Can't forget Terrell Pryor. He had one good year for us, but we never brought him back. Terrell Pryor was just everything. I was at the game in Miami where Terrell Pryor was running, throwing, everything in that game, trying to help us win, and we ended up losing it close. Can't remember the year that was. Might have been like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. Let's keep it going. We're going to bring this up. I don't think I have any more throwbacks. I think we're going to bring it up to current day now. So at the beginning of the show, I told y'all that the part of the motivation was me watching this or listening to this, and Kevin Stefanski's biggest supporters are moving off of him. So I just had to show y'all a throwback. They ain't been good. They're not going to magically get good. I wanted to take that back for y'all. Jameis would have been outdoing Gabriel all day long. I agree. Let's play it.
Going back to what you said about what are we supposed to expect out of this regime and coaching staff if they draft a quarterback high next year? It's going to be if they draft a quarterback in the first round next year, then you're talking about another rookie season for a quarterback, another developmental year, and maybe year 2 this guy starts to show that next level leap, kind of like a Drake May's taking this year. That's really your best hope, is that they can show some flashes as a rookie, because it's going to be a struggle no matter who it is as a rookie in the NFL. And then you want the second year to be like, hey, look, we can maybe show some flashes and do some things. Now we're talking 3-4 years down the road before we're actually seriously talking competitive, compete for something that matters type of football in Cleveland. And I just don't know if Kevin's the one to be.
All right, we got some good questions. Let me get to the questions. Let me pause them. I was the only one who wanted Jameis Winston back. Look what he's done for Jackson Dart as a mentor. Yeah, because they let him know early that we want you to come in here and be a mentor to our young guys. They made it very clear early on. That was one thing. If y'all notice, I was always saying with, let me fix my light here. With Brian Daboll, I don't think he's the best coach, but I recognize that early on he was making sure everybody knew their role. Everybody knew their role and they accepted their role. Kevin Stefanski did not define people's roles, so he never gave an opportunity to just you go be a mentor. Once you throw the word competition in there, you eliminate the ability for guys to just work collaboratively, because you're trying to one up the next person for your opportunity. And the person who doesn't have confidence will melt, i.e. Kaden Salter in Colorado, also Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland. There could be some ideological differences between Kevin and Shedeur too. Kevin loves to feature tight ends. Shedeur has primarily featured wideouts. Zedric, you wanted something. Also, if Travis Kelce is not featured in the Chiefs offense, if George Kittle is not featured in the 49ers offense, how can we feature the guys that we have? You really got to think about it. Also, how can you throw the ball upfield if you are featuring tight ends? What routes are tight ends running? When are the tight ends running 40 yards down the field unless it's a seam route in cover 2? So I agree with you there. It's definitely some differences in how they view you should attack, how they view you should attack defenses. If Pat Shurmur is not developing current Buffs QBs who developed Shedeur for NFL. Shedeur was developed ever since he was young. So Coach Prime was having him work with, I think it's Jeff George, to work on his deep passes. I think it was Jeff George when he was young. He also had guys come in and work on his throwing mechanics. He had a QB coach for a long time. So he more so was developed leading all up into going to college. Shedeur was developed when he got to Jackson State. So Pat Shermer was just on the receiving end of him looking really good. Stefanski needs to be called Coach Can't Get Right. Look at how many W's we had in the 6 years for L. Yeah, he got a losing record overall as a coach. That's a couple, I don't know how long ago it was. I was saying he's a losing coach. And the reason why I was saying that is because of his record. Maurice, you got it. Jeff Blake. Thank you. Jeff Blake. He taught Shedeur how to throw the deep ball. So thank you. Thank you for that, Maurice. Hot take, if Mike McDaniels get fired, I would love to bring him in for an offensive coordinator. I agree. Jeffrey, I don't know if you were here, but I put up a whole thing on who I would have organizationally. And Mike McDaniels, I would definitely be open. I would definitely be open for Mike McDaniels. Hey, do you see that G Bush said hit him up for a collab? Cash App limits and message character you can say. Shout out to you, Marie. Shout out to you. I did see that. I'm gonna hit him up on X. Because I watched some of his show from Saturday. I didn't watch the full thing. But I did see that you said watch, the last 20 minutes. So I did go to the last 20 minutes. I did see that. And I saw he said, hit him up on X. So shout out to you for bringing it up, putting it out there for me. I'm definitely gonna hit him up. So I appreciate that, Marie. And sometimes who quarterbacks are around, they get more credit for what the quarterback does, even though it's the quarterback having the success. Is not necessarily the coach who's around the quarterback. Look at Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor can coach offense, but his defenses are trash, but he still get credit for going to the Super Bowl with Joe Burrow. So it's one of those things where you got to look at, like, sometimes just a game-changing player is in an environment where they lift everybody else up and everybody also gets the credit with them. Because to me, if you are the one who builds quarterbacks up, you have a list of quarterbacks who all got better when they were with you. Yeah, Latika got it right as well. I see you, Latika. Look at Kyle Shanahan. Find the quarterback who came through his system that didn't have success. And the funny thing is Kyle Shanahan always has success with quarterbacks who are discarded. Jeffrey, we said it at the same time. Look at Mac Jones this year. Look at Sam Darnold. Remember, Sam Darnold went to the 49ers too before he had his resurgence. So Kyle Shanahan, that's an example of somebody who builds quarterbacks up. He's not just using the quarterback for their talents. So I would say that's the difference. That is the big difference. Now let's get to this morning. So basically, to sum up that last video that I had up, the thing that sparked my mind was they were speaking on how one is a big Kevin Stefanski supporter. He can no longer support Kevin Stefanski. He doesn't want to see it. They also asked the question, Kevin Stefanski as an offensive coordinator, would anybody hire him? Everybody's saying no. So if you wouldn't hire him for what he's known as, then how could you keep him here if he's not good at what he's known as, being an offensive guy? Let's get to them this morning. They tried to play some games on the radio this morning, y'all. We're not gonna let it slide.
Sphere.
Trey Wingo, join us now on the hotline. So you mentioned Shedeur, and
I regret it already.
No. You know where this is going. So first of all, I do want to know, because I love the fact that you sometimes play almost media ombudsman with your old place. And what did you think when your old place was having daily debates about the fourth string quarterback of the Cleveland Browns?
It was embarrassing. They did it because they knew his name would resonate and his name would create some sort of rabid frothing at the mouth when it was based on nothing, when it was really based on nothing. There's nothing to suggest that A, he's going to be terrible, or B, he's going to be great. We don't have any data. So it's all just guesswork. It's all just opinions, and opinions are like noses and buttholes. Everybody has them.
And Trey Wingo joining us on the show.
Okay. We got to give him the buzzer, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all why we got to give him the buzzer. Very specifically. We got to give him the buzzer because when it comes to a subject that you don't want to speak on, you say people just guessing. If people are just guessing and nobody knows because we haven't seen him on the football field, we would have to eliminate 70% of all sports radio, sports TV, sports shows, anything related to the draft, any of those things. This is a lazy cop-out. I don't tell people what they can speak on as fans. I don't tell people what they can go watch. Watch whatever you want to watch. Say what you want to say as long as you're not disrespecting. This is a lazy approach. This is him not willing to stand by his assessment of a player. The name that you'll see if you look at the description in any of my videos, any of my stuff on TikTok, eliminate the gray. Eliminate the gray is eliminate that gray area where we listen to people's opinions who are not willing to openly express how they feel about a subject. This is what Jason Lloyd does all the time on UCSS. Trey Wingo, we only know about you because of your time at ESPN, and then you go jump right in that gray area to not speak on it. You are here. If you are not an analyst, you are basically speculating on what you foresee happening. Trey Wingo, we got to give you the buzzer. You gave them a good Shedeur clip. This is dog food by using his name. You talk about how people just use his name and it's embarrassing only for you to also use his name and then for you to dance in the middle and not say what you believe he could be or what he won't be. It's weak. It's weak, y'all. That's a weak way to go out. That's what it is. Yes, I think the Panthers, maybe the Jets will hire him as offensive coordinator. Jeffrey, maybe the Jets, depending on what they do at OC. They're going to be getting a quarterback next year, but also at the same time, the Panthers, nope, because Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, is an offensive guy, and he has his imprints all on the offense. They brought him there to help build up Bryce Young, so you definitely would not bring somebody in like Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski's system is outdated. It's the Gary Kubiak system it started on. He's got so far away from the Gary Kubiak run system, which is wide zone, that he only ran it like 29 plays this year. So it's one of the lowest in the league of running a wide zone. And then none of his passing plays marry the run game. So when you run the ball all these different ways, and then you don't have your play action built off of any of the ways that you run, you're not going to have success. If you notice, the Browns don't have success on play action. Nobody believes it because it doesn't look like anything they've seen before. So maybe the Jets, because the Jets usually aren't good, but the Panthers, no go. They wouldn't take them. That's what Stefanski wants for himself. Praise for his system, but the system is old and obsolete. There you go, Maurice. Double speak. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the game too long for a take like that. There you go. Here the narrative starts to go after Shedeur not being good leading up to the game this week to support Stefanski's decision to stay with Dylan. Yeah, they're going to try. Shanitia, they're going to try the tricks, but tricks are for kids. We know what they're going to try to do. The players Coach Prime have is not serious about making it to the next level NFL. Probably not the overwhelming majority, and it could definitely show. Stefanski reported Gabe has tight hamstring and might be limited. Is this correct? Huh? Hold on. All right. Uh-oh. Hold on. We gonna look this up, y'all. I didn't hear anything about that. To a man, but we gonna go to it live. Let's see. Let's search. Kevin Stefanski, I think, had a press conference. It's Monday. He might have had a 10:30 press conference. Let's see. Let's see if he had a 10:30 Zoom press conference today. That's from 5 days ago. Okay, so I'm not seeing any new press conferences. I know 92.3 The Fan usually runs his press conferences. Let's see if they have it. Buyers or sellers. Okay, so far I'm not seeing anything. Hold on, let me see. Tight hamstring, maybe limited. Saw video. Shedeur talking. He mentioned Shedeur's armband sore. That reminds me of what happened in the preseason before the third preseason game. I'm not seeing anything. I'm looking though. Let me jump on X real quick. X usually has pretty up-to-date news. Let's see. Where's my other browser at? If so, this would be breaking news. This would be like a soft launch for Shedeur if this was true. But let's look and see. All right, so far I'm not seeing anything. That could be somebody reporting on. That sounds really similar to the injuries that they had in the preseason. So just first launch. That's the first thing I'm thinking. We have only ran 12 bootleg passes all year 2023. We was the number 3. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That sounds a lot like what happened in the preseason. So I'm not seeing anything. I'm gonna tell you this though, too, man. You had me hyped for a second. you had me. I was looking everywhere, so I'm not seeing anything yet. I'll keep my X up. I didn't have it up. Looking here for another source. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Yep, the same excuse used for the Panthers preseason, but didn't stop him from taking reps in practice. Yeah. So we gonna see. We gonna let that play out. Usually on game weeks, I think Kevin Stefanski does his press conference at 10:30. It's either 10:30 or 11. It would have happened already. I'm not seeing it anywhere. So yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere. But I was looking for it. Okay, we all on the same page. None of us seen it. None of us seen it. I was looking. You had me kind of hyped there for a minute. I was saying, okay, we on to something. We are on to something. You wild. Nah, we don't want it that way. I mean, we want to see Shedeur play. We don't want the Tanya Harden though. We don't want the Tanya Harden. Nah. It's gonna be perfect timing, just like Dylan Gabriel said. We're gonna wait our whole life for the perfect timing. All right, just jumping through real quick, making sure I didn't see it. Oh, what's going on, Misty? If Kevin Stefanski won't be here when Jeremiah Smith is eligible, because Jeremiah Smith has to go back. He has to go back. Oh, got you too, man. Okay, got you. Jeremiah Smith has to go back another year in college. So Kevin Stefanski ain't gonna make it. He's not making it 2 years. Kevin Stefanski ain't gonna be here. You don't got to worry about that. He's not gonna be here. He will not be here. He will still be. He'll be somebody's offensive coordinator, I guess. Say that, Latika. Yeah, we can't do the Tanya Harding. We can't do that. We can't take nobody out before the match. Let's play a little bit more of this. What else Trey Wingo's gonna say? We already see him trying to hide in the middle, trying to hide in the gray area.
So, what do you think is the truth about Shedeur then?
I don't know, and anybody that says they know is lying.
Good morning, Cheryl. How you doing? So I only played, that was maybe another 5 seconds. What's the truth on Shedeur? You see they're all giddy because they know this is something he doesn't want to speak about. He feels uncomfortable. Now, we just got to ask the questions, y'all. If nobody is qualified or nobody is capable of speaking on players before they play in the NFL, should we just get rid of ESPN? Should we get rid of all the draft coverage? Should the Mel Kipers be gone? Should the Phil Yates be gone? Should the Todd McShays be gone? So the people who watch all this film, they do week after week after week, they're breaking it down. Should they be gone? Because what happens when you watch all the film and you highlight a person and say, I want that guy on the team? I like Tez Johnson. I like Ferguson from Oregon. I was looking at Dylan Gabriel, and those are the two guys I was like, man, I would take Ferguson, the tight end, or I would take Tez Johnson. Now they end up producing after me watching film. If you want to just play the game, if you want to play semantics and say nobody knows 100%, that's cool. But to just try to say nobody knows, what you're doing is you got to listen to what you're doing. You are saying the NFL also doesn't know. And at the same time, they told us the NFL knows best, and that's why Shedeur failed. So, Trey, this is my question to you. Y'all know I got to ask people the questions. Y'all know I got to ask the questions. Should we listen to the people in the NFL who said Shedeur is not going to be good? Who said his talent wasn't first and second round? They said it was fifth round. Should we listen to them, Trey Wingo? And remember, I'm just backing you in the corner.
You triggered my trap card.
Because now you can't play in the middle. Do they know what they're talking about? This is the problem with people who play in the middle and they don't want to just stand on what they know. If you don't know, don't speak on it. But playing in this middle gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere. And then because you are not willing to say anything to kind of dismiss everybody's view on it, it's crazy. Look at all the people who said they didn't believe in Dylan Gabriel. They gave you all the reasons why they didn't believe in Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel has turned out to be everything that people thought he would be, and they were right to the T of his limitations. Should we not listen to those people too, Trey Wingo? You backed yourself into a corner, my man. Backed yourself into a corner. This is why, if y'all notice, when I said I like G. Bush, I said I like G. Bush because he makes a decision and he stands on it. These people that play in the middle, they are just there. They just talk. There you go. If you don't know what you're talking about, why do we need you? That's a fact, Shanithia. Did you see the video of Andrew Berry and Shedeur Sanders talking and Kevin put a fake smile on his face? Are you talking about on the sidelines when they were talking during Carolina Panthers and Kevin Stefanski was about 2 feet ahead of them and they want no parts of the conversation? I saw that, if that's what you're talking about. XFL was fun to watch as that middle ground between NFL and college. I agree. XFL could definitely help develop some guys going into the league. As long as Stefanski can, let me slow down. As long as Stefanski can keep Shedeur off the field, they can continue to spread this bull junk. I agree. The one thing they can't lie about is the tape. That's why it's people who want to say, man, you don't even want to see Shedeur playing this. I do. The same way they bring up the Rams tape is the same way we got the Carolina Panthers tape. I want to see him play. Because you're not just going to let Dylan Gabriel go out here and wet the bed, and then you're going to flip it and say Shedeur don't get an opportunity. Nope. I want to see him play. If nobody knows you're about to lose your job, say it again.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
This is what they pay you to do. If you are a regional scout, if you are a draft analyst, if you are paid to evaluate quarterbacks, if that's what they pay you to do, and you can't do it, and we can't trust anybody, this is what's going to happen.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
These people that play in the middle, they so funny. These are the people who are going to be out of it. They're going to be out of a job. They're not going to be here. Nobody's going to listen to you. Very early on, when I started to get people watching me, one of my hot takes was 5 to 7 years, the NFL landscape is going to be different. From a media standpoint, it's a lot of people that we're going to realize we don't need. If you can't analyze the game of football right now with so much independent media, so much control on teams being able to put out their own media, why do we need these middle ground people? These middle ground people. Trey Wingo, why do we need you? Jason Lloyd, why do we need you? Tony Grossi, why do we need you? Mary Kay, why do we need you? Aditi Kobawala, why do we need you? Why do we need the reporter who just repeats the same thing? We don't need them. They're not needed. 5 to 7 years, you might have, if you ever listen to an earnings call from certain companies, usually companies in tech, what they do is they allow shareholders to send in questions. I've listened to a lot of earnings calls just doing research on companies. A lot of times, the people who get paid to look into companies, they ask the most bland questions. The best questions about innovation and what you're going to do for the future and the future development comes from usually the smaller investors who ask the best questions. What's stopping NFL teams from using a similar system where they allow fans before a press conference, a day before the press conference, or the night before the press conference after a game, when that coach is going to answer questions on Monday, they just let the fans send in, and the top 5 questions, they ask those questions. What's stopping them from doing that? At that point, what do you need a reporter for? The reporter is not analyzing the game. The reporter is just a microphone. Why do you need a microphone when you already have a microphone? It's going to be what they're going to be here for. That's just a way for them to try to take away Shedeur's opportunity. It's weak. That's a fact. I'm just curious on the way Shedeur handles pressure, because that's the main thing that scares me right now. Is it going to be the Panthers or the Rams game? It's a fair question. Fair question, Jeffrey. I would say if Shedeur is running backwards on first down, I would say that's an issue. If Shedeur is trying to make something happen on fourth down and he runs to extend the play and tries to make something happen, I could understand it more. We saw in the NFL yesterday guys running on fourth down to extend plays to try to make something happen. So I think it's situational. Now, running the 25-yard back one is a no-go on any down. But if you try to extend the play on a fourth down, I totally get it. Oh, last play of the game, you try to extend the play, totally get it. On first down, if he's doing that, then that's when it's an issue. But it's a 50-50 chance. If you're not sure, you saw him not really do it versus one team. You saw him do it versus another team. I would argue it had more to do with scheme in that second game than anything. Scheme and quality of players. That's what I would argue. They know what they are talking about, and they sure know what they're doing. And it's pathetic. Misty, I agree. They playing the game. When, how long is Kevin going to slide? For some reason, it looks like the Browns are not ready to get rid of him. All it takes is for the Cleveland Browns players to start doing what the Cincinnati Bengals players are doing and calling out things in the media. That's going to get a coach up out of here. My early takeaway is Zach Taylor is going to be fired this year. The tape I've seen of Shedeur shows an accurate playmaker that will succeed more often than he fails. His flaws will be outdone by his successes. Besides, it was exciting watching him play. There you go. To a man, that description of Shedeur is the same way you can describe Jaden Daniels before he got injured, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, even to a degree because of his escapability. Why is it slipping my name? Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. Guys who extend plays and try to make something happen. We see it. So I don't have an issue with him trying to make plays. Still was the best look for all Cleveland QBs this year. Did you notice how quickly those guys got healthy after the Carolina game? Maurice, you're on to something. But I think it's more a middle of the road mixture of both. Not as bad as the Panthers game. I can't deny it. I can't disagree with you there. I think that's fair. No one has been raised with more pressure than Shedeur, his dad is prime. Let's talk about it. That's a great way to get up to speed of how we're going to talk about the end of this. We're talking about winners. I agree. Josh Allen just had a play last week where he did it. Burrow did it in the preseason too. It tends to happen a lot more than we think. It does. It happens a whole lot. The amount of football I watch, when you have these gotta have it plays, that's why I said when it's a fourth down, when the game is on the line, you see those things happen. All right, you see it. Now let's get to somebody just said the comment that sparked my thought in my mind. Pressure. There we go. Toolman said it. Shout out to Toolman. We spoke on Colorado early, and we spoke on the QB competition and what that QB competition did, and how basically Caden Salter is melt, and Juju is just going to rise to the occasion. We are already seeing him take ownership of the offense the way he's speaking to guys already. It's going to be very, very similar thing in Cleveland. We are watching Dylan Gabriel melt. It's like ice cream melting. He's not able to rise to occasion. The confidence is not there. He has analysis paralysis, afraid to make mistakes, leads to making mistakes. He's setting it up. The bar is going to be so low for Shedeur. I told y'all, the bar's the curb. Shedeur going to wake up, take one step above the bar. That's how low the bar is getting. Shedeur's confidence is one of the best things that he got from his father. Because I would say 98% of quarterbacks going into what happened to Shedeur from the time of the draft until now, they would have just crumbled. We are watching guys get all the opportunities and crumble. So think about somebody like Shedeur. Shedeur will get his shot, and the bar going to be so low, it's going to be one pass, 150 yards. I mean, one pass is people going to see it. 150 yards and a half with 2 touchdowns. People are going to say he the man because the bar is that low with how they've lowered it. He going to be able to produce. Opportunities are there. What people want to do is they want to say opportunities are not there. Opportunities are there. Ms. Brown, I thought he was saying that these people don't know that Shedeur not good. He played in the middle, Ms. Brown. He said, oh, you don't know if he's good. You don't know if he's bad. But then if nobody knows if he's good or bad, then that means it'll be more 50-50, not the way they've played it out to us. Majority of the stuff you hear about Shedeur is not going to be good. It's not 50-50. If people said 50-50 toss-up, he could be good, he could be bad, I would be more willing to hear them out if they gave me reasons on both sides. But what he's doing is playing in the middle, and he's not willing to stake his view on either side, and he's just calling out people for staking their view on the side. So that I can't rock with. Now, if you do like Jeffrey said, it could be this game, it could be that game, probably somewhere in the middle. I can understand you. You're giving tangible things. When you're just saying nobody knows, too many people get paid to know. Too many people get paid to study defenses. Too many people get paid to study offenses. Too many people get paid to study quarterbacks. So just the way he's playing it, he's just playing on the sidelines. He's just playing on the sidelines. Also, I do want to show y'all one thing. Can't say that anymore since Stefanski said it himself. He's taking excuses away too. That is a fact. He said The plays are there. He has to make the plays. Hey, when Kevin Stefanski saying that, you got to believe him. I got to show y'all something. Let me get to it here, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments. What do I need? I need this NFL Plus. I'm gonna show y'all how they took away the middle of the field when Joe Flacco was here, because that was what we spoke on earlier. So let me get to it. Let's go stats. Let me show you all this. Gabe is seeing ghosts. Yeah, he got that Sam Darnold for the Jets. Shedeur isn't going to crumble. He will probably have some days being preached to by Pops and find Jesus, but he's holding up better than anyone. He can be a top 10 quarterback. I'll be okay even with a top 15 quarterback with Shedeur because he has the accuracy to do it. There you go. A top 15 quarterback gives you a chance when you have a great defense. The lowest rated quarterback by PFF with a great defense still equals losses. So let's see. I'm going to show y'all Joe Flacco's passing chart when he was with the Cleveland Browns. And you'll see where he had his success early. Okay, here we go. Got it here. Let me get on the screen for y'all. Let's take these guys down. We don't need them anymore. Let's go here. And then let me get my drawing tool out. All right, let's go here. Bet could be like Brett Favre as a rookie saying, don't mess up. I'll be ready to undo your mess in the second half. We will see. Look at Jalen Hurts, really good defense, win the Super Bowl. There you go. People argue with me when I said Jalen Hurts wasn't top 5 in the NFL before the year. People argue with me, but you can win the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. So I don't know why people want people to be like top 5. So all right, this is week 1. This is Joe Flacco's passing chart. This is his passing chart versus the Cincinnati Bengals. 10 yards. We got to mark out 10 yards. Okay. Joe Flacco attacking above 10 yards. You see, he likes the middle of the field. Look at this. He likes the middle of the field. He took some shots deep to the sidelines, but you see, once you bring it below 10 yards, look where he's living. Joe Flacco is living in the middle of the field. He's living there. Look like a hamburger with a line through it. But that is week 1. Let's go to week 2 with Joe Flacco. Jeffrey, I agree. It's okay if they make mistakes. You want to see them improve. I agree. Dylan Gabriel's getting worse game by game. This is week 2 for Joe Flacco. This is why teams are able to do the same thing versus the Cleveland Browns. So, 10 yards. Same thing. Let's go here. Make that same hamburger. Same hamburger. He's living. So this is 10 yards. He's living behind the line of scrimmage in the middle. He's liking the middle of the field. His touchdown's in the middle of the field. This is Joe Flacco. Let's clear it. This looks like the chart from yesterday. Moving the ball, spread it. Hey, you are right. That's the wrong week. I switched the teams. Okay, let me go back. Thank you for catching that, Zedric. Thank you. It switched off of the Browns when I hit back. Good catch. Really good catch. Let's go back to the Browns. Good catch. Okay, there we go. This is his week 2. There we go. My guy. Why do you keep switching the chart? Passing. Oh, I'm picking the Bengals. That's why. I need the Browns. And let's just put it on Joe Flacco. Let's not even show Dylan Gabriel. Stop giving me all teams. All right, they're giving me some issues with this. They fighting me, y'all. Stop fighting. I might just have to show y'all on the smaller screen. Yeah, every time I click on it, it's not allowing me to really show y'all in a big way like I want to. This is this is week 1, week 3 this week. It's the Colts. Man, this thing is nasty. Okay, here we go. I'll show y'all this way. That was a good catch, Cedric. Okay, this chart over here is from the Cleveland Browns. This is week 4. He was 16-34. He threw 2 interceptions. But we can still do the same thing. Where's the 10-yard line? 10-yard line is going to be here. Team took away the whole middle of the field. Took it away. You see that? Middle of the field, they eliminated. They said you can't rock. You can't rock there. Now these two are Cleveland Browns. This is the week prior. This is week 2. Week 3. Whenever I click on it, it's not allowing me to show it. It keeps giving me the wrong one, but we're gonna make it happen. 10 yards is here. Where is it at? 10-yard line is about right here. They less throws across the middle of the field that I showed y'all for the Cleveland Browns. This is when Joe Flacco had 142 yards. They are eliminating the middle of the field for Joe Flacco with the Cleveland Browns. Now let's go to Joe Flacco from yesterday, which is the chart that they really want us to see. They want us to see this chart bad for some reason. Right here, the same Joe Flacco. 10 yards is right here. This was Cincinnati. Let me make that clear. Joe Flacco can attack where he wants to attack. Same hamburger. Comfort. So people want to be lazy and say it's all about Joe Flacco having weapons. It's also comfort in what the quarterback is able to do. Also, that has to do with 2 tight ends, bringing in extra linemen at times, some of the scheme. Yep, the scheme does not allow big, deep plays. They don't allow it. When you got those tight ends, how many routes are tight ends running on a route tree? Tight ends not running a bunch of routes. They're running basic routes. You know what they're doing. So they don't really have the threat to beat you over the top. That's what teams are taking away. That's why I was hypercritical of Kevin Stefanski not being able to scheme up things to beat cover 1. Because you see it wasn't the closest like I wanted to show y'all, but you see the middle of the field, they said we're going to take this away. Game by game, he had less opportunities in the middle of the field, and once you take that away, you don't have success. You go look at Cincinnati, his best game, he has opportunities in the middle of the field. So, there you have it. There you have it. So, in the end, 2 QB competitions, one in Colorado, one in Cleveland. Guys who are propped up and didn't have the confidence or losing the confidence are going to lose their jobs. And it's going to be moving on to the next guys who still have the confidence to play. And we're going to see it with Juju. We're going to see it with Shedeur. That's just going to be it. Another thing I think people are doing with the Shedeur conversation, people only want you to respond if you believe Shedeur is going to be bad. Because they don't even, the people who are negative about Shedeur, they don't even want to open the idea of him being good. Not sure how you can do it as your success grows, subscribers and super chats, but this is such a great format of community where we feel like we are in a conversation with Professor. Shout out to you, Shanithia. I really appreciate that. Cover 1 is that single high safety? Yes, it is. So somebody told me. So I had a stream on I can't remember the weekend. It might have been the Dolphins. I had a bunch of people in the chat, and the format just didn't feel how it normally feels. where we actually can communicate clearly with each other. So since then, I've been doing subscribers only, which will limit my overall views, but subscribers only means people just can't come in and spam the chat and all that, and I can see all of your comments, and then we can communicate back and forth. That's part of the reason why I have subscribers only mode on. So views will be less, but the people who are here will get it'll be a better experience for everybody. So that's why I do it that way. Super chats, also update on super chats. I submitted my information. They said it can take up to 2 weeks for them to clear it, for me to be able to accept super chats during the show. So just waiting to hear back from them once they clear it. But subscribers and the view count is there. Just got to wait for them to clear it so we can rock and roll, move forward. Yep. Cover one is that single high safety. Yes, it is. Let me, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me get this up. Let's get this up here. Let's take this thumbnail down. Let's go here. I have middle of the road when it comes to Shedeur because I've seen both sides, the good and the bad. Yeah, I don't knock you for feeling that way. I knock people who cover football for telling people that they can't feel either way, or it's an issue to feel either way.
Cover one utilizes one free safety in the middle of the field with underneath defenders in man.
Okay. What are the odds of Deion taking the Cleveland coaching position? For a while, I didn't think he would take it. Depending on how things go, I think he's probably more open to it if the opportunity came. This year's been mostly cover two, though. That's what 90% of teams run. You got to go, Jeffrey, you got to look at the breakdown per team. It's somebody on X that put the stats out. It's an advanced metric of what teams are seeing the most. The Browns do see a lot of cover two, but when people are trying to take away the middle of the field, they're not necessarily using cover two to take away the middle of the field. They're using cover one. They're going man because you don't have anybody who can really, beat you over the top, and they're not throwing the ball over the top. So they do see their fair share of cover two, but cover two, they have a little bit more success than they do versus cover one. So this is cover one right here on the screen. Let's see. All right, so this is cover one right here on the screen. You get man across. They play off man. So you see if you got your outside receivers. You see you got your wide, this would be your tight end. The only difference in this is for a lot of times for the Browns, instead of having two guys in the backfield, you'll have another tight end up here or twin tight ends here. Now, all this congestion is in the middle of the field. This middle linebacker, they got him called the plugger here and this safety. These are the two guys who have a bunch of freedom. Strong safety, middle linebacker. This middle linebacker, he could hug the line of scrimmage. He could show blitz. He could drop back and cover zone, the middle of the field here. He could cover this guy in man if he comes out of the backfield. So it's a bunch of different options he has. Now, this guy could cover in man, or he could play robber. He could cover the middle if this guy is covering him in man. So the whole middle of the field is congested because you always have extra bodies in the middle of the field. Now look at the Browns offense. Lines up perfectly. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Yep, easy, super easy to defend. Super easy to defend. Because normally what the Browns will do is instead of having somebody else in the backfield, they'll do they'll put a tight end here, or they'll add a tight end here. You add those tight ends, it's very easy to defend. Very easy to defend. So this is where they're having the most problems. The most problems. Deion is good where he's at. Have all the support there. I don't know, Marie. I don't know if it's. before the year, I said it was 0%. But the opportunity, you saw how happy he was when he saw Shedeur. I don't know if he could pass up that opportunity to go coach Shedeur if it was available. I would say, I wouldn't say it's like 90%. I would say it's probably a 5% chance where he would accept it. But I think it's a little bit there. Now look at the Browns offense, lines up perfectly. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. That's it. That is it. Let me show you. Let's go back. Let's look at Dylan Gabriel's chart, and we'll see where he likes to throw the ball. Let's see. Let's go here. Take this down. And let's look at the Cleveland Browns. Or let's just look at Dylan Gabriel. Now we just saw what cover 1 protects. Cover 1 protects the middle of the field. Dylan Gabriel does not want to throw the ball deep, and he got his touchdowns. I believe this one was to Fannin. This blue right here is a touchdown when he came out the backfield. This one I believe was to David Njoku, but basically he's not going deep. So you can crowd up the box, put extra guys there, and you're going to be able to stop the Browns offense. I think he retires before he goes to the league. Left side, 0 to 4 yards. Yeah, look at it. This is what he want. This is 10 yards right here for Dylan Gabriel. Where the bulk of his passes at? Under 10 yards to the left. Very easy to defend. Against Gabe, been seeing a lot of zone, and Dylan is missing the throwing windows. I would say his movements are about 2 seconds too late or too early, picking the wrong receiver. 2-man, I agree with that too. When we broke down his third down plays, I always break down third down because those are high pressure plays. He had opportunities. He got the first one. After that, he actually beat cover 1 coverage on his first third down to throw to Harold Fannin. After that, he couldn't beat the coverage. They were mixing in basic zone. They weren't even doing anything exotic or trying to confuse him. They were mixing in cover 2. They mixed in some cover 3. He just didn't know where to go. I think it's more feasible that Manning will come in here as a head coach because of Jimmy. I don't want a Manning as a head coach. They haven't shown any success at coaching. So I want Brian Flores. I think he retires before he goes to the league. Yeah, I'm hesitant to always say never or never would, but I think it's 5%. Of course, I saw about the way the NFL did his kids. He had dust from them now. Why would he give up $2 million a year to put career in the corrupt owner hands? I don't see it. I can't argue with you, Marie. I can't argue with you. I can't argue with you there. Valid points. I don't argue with valid points. You got me. The field is cut off by about 70% with him. Sheesh, that's a fact. Third downs, he had 3 of 18. He throws 4-yard pass, throws 4 yards. He isn't trying to make things happen. He's not. That's why Kevin Stefanski said the plays are there. He got to make it happen. He's not making it happen. So, if y'all like seeing like this cover 1, this is something we can add to the show. Like if y'all like to see this, I can add cover 1. We can add a cover 3. We can add a cover 2. We could do different things throughout the show. So towards the end of the show, I got a little wiggle room where if it's something y'all like, man, I keep hearing you say this coverage. You can say, hey, pull it up. We can pull it up. We can go over it because the tools is there. I just don't want them saying Shedeur dad has to come head coach for him to succeed as QB1. Yeah, I can't argue with that either because they're going to spin it. They're going to spin it. I can't argue with you, C. Brown. How many years do you think Coach Prime going to be at Colorado? For the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future. When you get in NFL, college, it's about quarterback. when you get a talent like Juju stays there, then you might as well add him 3 years. At least while Juju's there, I see him there. See, when I watch a football game, I watch the offense and the defense lines. That's it. You can break down 22 videos showing us what defense they're running on us. Yeah, definitely. We could do that. So on Wednesdays, about the last like 30 to 45 minutes of the show, we do all 22 film. So we can break it down on Wednesdays. We can break it down and say, okay, this is the defense. This is what's happening. This is what they're running. Coach Prime, I just don't see him stand past Juju. Yeah, it's hard to say. But when you got the quarterback is the key to opens the door to success in the NFL and in college. I think he'll fill out his contract, and it depends on his health. I think more is tied to his health than anything. So I definitely agree with you there. If it's hard for him, or if he has to have a bunch more surgeries, I think that probably could limit him. But barring health, I could see him being there with Juju. I could definitely see that. So also, I think it's somebody on X. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's somebody on X who they do a great job of highlighting the defenses that teams face. If I don't have it today, I'll find it by Wednesday's show, and we'll go over the top defenses that they are facing. We can go over the top defenses that the Browns are facing, and then you'll see more of why people are saying these are the answers, because it's always answers. For instance, last week it was a big argument on X. They were talking about cover 4. How do you beat cover 4? So watching how they want to beat cover 4, somebody was saying, oh, you can't beat it. Then someone else was saying, oh, you can beat it. You hold the safety, you throw it over top. So every defense has something that you can use to beat it. You just got to be willing to use that, what they're giving you. Let me search real quick. Because it is a person that I follow, and they put a lot of stuff out. All right, so far. Yeah, I would need a little bit more time to find it. I'll work on it. I'll have it for Wednesday's show. Wednesday's show, I'll let y'all know which defense the Browns are facing the most. And then as we break down the film the following week after the game, then we'll be able to see, like, okay, these are the answers to this defense. And then if we can't get the answers, then you will know it won't be success there. He has to reduce the stress, definitely. I wanted to see Coach Prime succeed at Colorado and build a powerhouse there like Nick Saban did at Alabama and win a natty. You get that quarterback right, you start filling out those lines out. That's how you do it. There's a weakness, and good plays will have, if man do this, zone do that, play structure. Exactly. I read that slow. My bad on that to a man. But every defense gives up something. So even if you just look at what I was just showing y'all with cover 1, you could beat cover 1 a multitude of ways. When they're playing off cover 1 like this, on the screen, the way you beat this is crossing routes. The way you beat this is at crossing routes. So you need your receivers. Okay, so the way you beat this is these guys, they're going to give inside leverage and maintain outside leverage. They don't want to get beat outside. This guy right here, he does not want to get beat outside. So he's not going to give you outside. He's going to take away the outside and give you inside. So what you want to do is you want this guy coming across the field. You want probably this tight end coming across the field. You want these guys, these defenders, this defender and this defender, you want them chasing. You want them chasing. So if they're chasing you, you're going to have some reads. By the time you get here, you should have an opportunity. By the time this guy gets here, you should have an opportunity. So you want them chasing, and that's just a very simple, easy way to beat cover one. Very simple, easy way. And the reason why they're running cover one on the Browns, another reason is you can bring this defender here, you can line him up here. If you line him up here, you got how many guys on the line of scrimmage? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sometimes 6 guys at the line of scrimmage. Teams are going to be hesitant to pass. What happens? This wheel linebacker comes down. They're filling both A gaps. Now you got 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. Are you going to run into 7 guys at the line of scrimmage? Probably not. So it's just, you can scare the Browns out of running the ball, which they do best, just based on running this defense. So it's there. Yes, on adding coverages and defenses. Shanithia, I got you. We'll do it. We'll do it. Because then you understand the game on a different level and you see where the weakness is happening. Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I'll show you cover 0 real quick. Let me get here. Let's go here. All right, everybody. I need everybody to put Misty in the chat. Please put Misty in the chat. Misty did this. So I can say this.
I got money.
Misty hits the Cash App and says, "You make my day." You make my day, Misty. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all being here with me. I appreciate the kind words that y'all give me. It's motivation to keep going, keep grinding, keep getting better. So I definitely appreciate y'all always rocking with me. And everybody put Misty in the chat. Let me show you that cover 0. Let me show you that cover 0. I want to see if I can find it. That's cover 2. Actually, I'll go to the same guy. He might have cover 0 there. All right, he didn't have cover 0. Let me find it. Cover 0 is a Brian Flores special. I think we can find it here.
Cover 0. Cover 0 is football chaos at its
All right, let's get it. I found it. Let's take this thumbnail down. Okay, we got it up on the screen. Let's get you out the way. Let's get my tool. Where you at? All right, this is cover 0. This is cover 0 right here. And you already see it. They wrote it up there. Chaos. You do this when you want to stress test a quarterback and stress test the offense. This is what you do. You do cover 0.
finest. There are no deep safeties at all. Every defender is either covering a receiver man-to-man or blitzing the quarterback. When those extra blitzers reach the quarterback before he can find an open target, it's absolutely devastating. Quarterbacks have to make split-second decisions under extreme pressure. But here's the risk. If just one defender misses their assignment, it's a straight path to the end zone with nobody deep to save the day. It's football's version of an all-in poker bet. You'll typically spot cover 0 on critical third and long situations when defenses need a sack. The Ravens with Kyle Hamilton love to bring this pressure package. You can identify it by the absence of safeties playing deep.
Let's pause it right here. Cover 0. I remember when Brian Flores was in, was it Brian Flores or Brandon Staley? Lamar Jackson, it was his first or second time being in the playoffs. And they just kept lining up cover 0. Cover 0. They were running cover 0 from a nickel and just sending everybody. So normally you see how you can look. That's how the coverages work. Cover 0 is no high safety. So you see the X on the screen right here. There's no safety back. And then if you want to get more crazy with this, what you'll do is you'll bring this guy up closer to the line of scrimmage. You'll have everybody closer to the line of scrimmage. Instead of a linebacker, you might have a nickel here. The nickel is in front of this receiver right here. And this is to just throw off what the defense or offense wants to do. And you are betting on the offense panicking and making a mistake. That's what you're betting on. You're betting they're going to make a mistake. And when they make that mistake, he's going to hold the ball too long. He's going to be hesitant. They're just going to take a sack. So cover zero blitz is a really good thing to use. Also, now it's a lot of disguising cover zero where it looks like cover zero and then they bail out. And usually they bail out into zone coverage because it's easier to find a spot and cover an area than going from cover zero, showing it to man, unless you do like cover two and you do man across the board and then the linebackers drop out into their zone. So those are some of the options that you could do with cover zero. But only aggressive defensive coordinators use cover zero. So you got Brian Flores, he uses it a lot. Brandon Staley, he is the coordinator now for the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Staley likes to use it. So it's not a common thing because one slip up, a cornerback fall, touchdown if the quarterback can get to it. So this is a risk, like they said, all in on poker. This is a risky thing to do, but it'll pay off if you can speed up a quarterback who doesn't want to be sped up. You could definitely speed him up. So good call out there. Good call out there on the cover zero. Teams are starting to do man on one side, zone on the other side. I agree. They are. Do y'all remember, I think it was week 2, I think Nathan Zagura was saying, oh, the Browns keep seeing cover 6. That's like cover 4 on one side, cover 2 on one side. So sometimes they'll disguise it that way, where you'll have cover 4 on one side, guys dropping back in zone, but you say you got Denzel Ward on the right side and you want him to just go man with the receiver that he's guarding, then you can do cover 4 on one side, man on the other side. So it's another way you can take advantage of having really good one-on-one corners and still putting them in man coverage, which that'll throw off the quarterback. So all of it is to throw off the quarterback and get them thinking I'm showing something that I'm not. But I like the fact that y'all like this because this means y'all with me. Y'all trying to understand. I'm a person, I'm always trying to find the answers. I don't like to have to rely on other people for the answers. I like to try to find them. And that's one thing that I'm enjoying more about football is you find the answers. The answers are there. You just got to find them. So something I definitely enjoy. But definitely we're going to make those changes to Wednesday when we watch film. This has been another great show. A couple hours in. I appreciate y'all. 2 hours, 15 minutes. The Vikings did it a little bit against us in London. Yeah, the Vikings, they didn't go as exotic as they could have, and they gave people a false sense of hope for Dylan Gabriel because they did not do what they could have did. Brian Flores took it light on the Cleveland Browns in London. Took it light on them. It felt good to be back. It felt good to be back here speaking with y'all, going over some things. We're going to do this again on Wednesday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Y'all know where to find me. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to keep growing this thing. Marie, I'll make sure to hit up G Bush on X. Misty, sponsor of the day. Thank you, Misty. Always appreciate you being here. Always appreciate your contributions. It's been great speaking with y'all. We're going to do this again on Wednesday. Enjoy the next couple of days, y'all, before we back at it. Peace.